It started with a smirk and a stolen seat. A white woman had slipped into first class, lounging like she owned the sky. Moments later, when a black woman walked up, holding her boarding pass, the whole plane turned to watch. "This seat's taken," the woman said coldly, her tone slicing through the cabin air. The flight attendant hesitated. Cameras began to lift. People whispered. But what no one on that flight knew was that the woman being dismissed wasn't just any traveler. She was the CEO of the company that owned the jet's cargo and funded the airline's new partnership. Within minutes, the cabin that had mocked her would fall completely silent. Because sometimes power doesn't shout, it just sits down. Wait a second. Tell us where you're watching from in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more powerful stories like this. Dr. Naomi Blake wasn't the kind of woman who demanded attention. Her success spoke for itself. From growing up in a working-class Detroit neighborhood to becoming CEO of a billion-dollar tech logistics firm, she'd learned to creep and command respect without asking for it. This flight from New York to London was business, not luxury. Her company had just signed a partnership that would reshape air freight technology. She'd booked first class for rest, not recognition. She arrived early, boarding pass in hand, suitcase sleek and straightforward. As she approached seat 2A, she saw it, already occupied by a blonde woman in pearls, sipping champagne with careless entitlement. The woman didn't glance up at first. Then she did, and her smile vanished. "You must be lost," she said sharply. Naomi blinked. "Excuse me?" "This is first class," the woman repeated, louder this time. "Coach is behind the curtain." The cabin fell silent. Naomi's pulse quickened, not from anger, but from the weight of a too familiar script. She'd been mistaken for an assistant, a cleaner, even a guest in her own office. But being told she didn't belong here, again, cut deep. She calmly held out her digital ticket. "Seat 2A. The woman glanced, then scoffed. "You probably upgraded yourself by mistake. This is my seat." Her tone was sugar-coated arrogance designed to humiliate. The flight attendant arrived, tense but uncertain. "Ma'am," she said to Naomi, "can I just verify your boarding pass?" Naomi's stomach dropped. Again, she was the one being questioned. The woman crossed her legs, clearly enjoying the performance. The scanner beeped. Green light. Naomi's ticket was valid. 2A. The other woman was 4C, an apparent mistake, but the attendant hesitated, glancing nervously between them. "Are you sure?" The passenger pressed. "She doesn't look like," and that was it. The quiet gasps around the cabin told Naomi everything she needed to know. The insult wasn't subtle anymore. Just then the pilot stepped out from the cockpit, alerted by the commotion. He stopped mid-step when he saw Naomi. "Dr. Blake?" The cabin froze. The pilot straightened immediately. "Good morning, ma'am. We've been expecting you. Your team sent over your flight schedule earlier." The woman's face paled. "Wait, your team?" The pilot smiled politely. "Yes, ma'am. Dr. Blake's company supplies the navigation software that this airline uses. Without her technology, this aircraft wouldn't even leave the ground." The murmurs spread like wildfire. The cabin that once looked down on her now stared in stunned silence. The woman's face flushed crimson, words failing her for the first time. She tried to laugh it off, but her voice cracked. I didn't realize—" Naomi didn't respond. She didn't have to. The flight attendant, cheeks burning with guilt, finally spoke. "Mrs. Harper, your assigned seat is 4C. Please move immediately." The walk down the aisle felt longer than the flight itself. Mrs. Harper avoided every eye, clutching her handbag like a shield. Naomi sat down, smooth and composed, and opened her laptop. Not out of pride, but principle. As the engines roared to life, a man in row 3 whispered, "She's the CEO?" Someone else muttered, "Unbelievable." And yet, the most unbelievable thing wasn't her title. It was how calm she stayed in the face of blatant disrespect. The pilot made an announcement. "Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome aboard our special guest, Dr. Naomi Blake." Applause broke out. Mrs. Harper lowered her head. By the time they landed in London, a short clip of the confrontation had gone viral. Someone had recorded the moment the pilot revealed Naomi's identity and captioned it, "When humility meets power." Within hours, millions had watched it. Naomi didn't celebrate the attention. Instead, she used the opportunity to address something deeper. In a short interview, she said, "Every seat I've ever taken, I had to earn twice over. But that's not the problem. The problem is why people think some seats belong to others by default." That quote became headline news, sparking discussions about race, privilege, and respect in corporate spaces. The airline issued a public apology. Mrs. Harper deleted her social accounts. Naomi returned home quietly. But this time, when she walked into a boardroom or an airport, people didn't just see a black woman in first class. They saw a leader who carried herself with grace and taught the world that real class isn't a seat you buy. It's how you treat people. Where are you watching from? Please tell us your city and country below. Take care.